How's it going, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I'm going to give you the top 5 skip tracing companies you need to be using in your real estate wholesaling business. Before we get into it, remember, you already know you need to smash that like button and subscribe to get the most free value and content from me. On this YouTube channel, I'm here to help you make your first $100,000 in real estate wholesaling absolutely for free. Now, really quickly, let's break this down. Skip tracing in real estate wholesaling. Before I give you the top 5 skip tracing companies, let me explain a little bit about the information about skip tracing. There's a huge difference between free skip tracing and paid skip tracing. Skip tracing is basically us trying to find the phone numbers of our motivated sellers. Let's say I'm driving around in my car and I see this huge distressed property. There's grass everywhere and the property looks super motivated. The roof's like caving in, there's mold everywhere there, and the door looks terrible. That seems like a property I want to get in contact with the owner. It's probably vacant. No one's living in there. The seller probably just wants quick cash and just to get rid of the property. This seems like the perfect property for us to get. How do I get in front of the seller? I don't have their phone number. They don't live in the property. Well, what we do is we use one of these 5 skip tracing websites to go out there and find their phone number. Skip tracing is a detective term to go out there and find the whereabouts of someone, like a detective. These skip tracing websites will help us find their phone numbers, and it's a little bit of a weird privacy thing. It's a little crazy, but you can go out there and find basically anyone's phone number in a matter of seconds. So there's 2 types of skip tracing. There's free skip tracing and paid skip tracing. Free skip tracing is websites that pull the information from public records, telephone records, public utilities, voter registration, social media, and like state licensing agencies. These are going to be the free skip tracing sources that I tell you today. And these are one of the most reliable sources out there, and they're really good for finding a lot of older people versus where the paid skip tracing, if you're under the age of 60, that's probably a little better. And paid skip tracing is basically information that I recommend that you get from credit bureau data. So credit bureau data is basically when you're getting data from credit bureaus. So let's say I'm going to try to apply for a loan to get a house. That information, they're going to have to pull my credit. I'm going to put my information, I'm going to put my phone number, I'm going to put everything with that private company so they can run my credit. That credit bureau, guess what they do? They sell your data. Someone like me will go buy it so I can go contact and get your phone numbers. Top companies that sell this information are places like IDI and TLO. You have to get very expensive contracts with them to get this information. But these paid websites already have the cheapest contracts ready, so you can get the skip tracing for the cheapest possible. Usually skip tracing, when you have to pay for it, is around 10 to 15 cents. And the numbers are going down more and more as more information comes out. So that is paid skip tracing. I recommend paid skip tracing when you have the money to do it and your time is very valuable. Versus if you don't have a lot of money and you have a lot of time on your hands to go out there and just punch information through and copy and paste in Excel for hours, probably the free skip tracing is where you want to do. So there's a good mix in the top 5 here, and let's break it down. So coming in at number 5, this is going to be a paid skip tracing source. Number 5 here is leadsherpa.com. Everyone that watches my content knows that I used to use LeadSherpa back in the day for SMS text blasting before they started capping how many texts I could send. LeadSherpa is a great website, and honestly, it's still good for SMS text blasting. It's not my preferred one with all the regulation coming into texting where you got to be a little more of a sniper approach with the spinner tokens and getting more precise with your texting with some better services out there. But for LeadSherpa, their skip tracing has always been amazing. You don't have to pay a $500 SMS fee to go in there to use LeadSherpa for skip tracing. They have really good data. I know of the owners there, and they use really good data. And honestly, I've done hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit through cold calling and SMS with LeadSherpa when I used them back in the day. So LeadSherpa still today, I still test it out sometimes. It's great data. Number 4 here is a free service. This is a free skip tracing service that is just one of the OGs. It's White Pages, Spokio. These websites are absolutely amazing. It is absolutely insane the amount of free skip tracing public information you can get from these websites. White Pages will literally give you someone's age, their address that they live in, and a lot of other really personal information that you can just get online absolutely for free. Now, White Pages will try to funnel you to pay for services with like insane background checks, and you're probably not going to get that. but White Pages is really good for a base level where it'll give you someone's phone number. You'll have to go out there and do some little more digging on some of these free websites. White Pages is really good. Been Verified is good. Remember, Been Verified, you got to be a little careful because you go in there, they're going to want you to pay for the upgraded packages and do all the little spammy stuff. Just use the free one. Don't click any crazy links and don't do it. You should be fine on there, but you'll find someone's phone number. You'll find their information, and it's really easy to get someone's phone number with these websites like White Pages, Spokeo, and Been Verified. benverified.com, Spokeo, Spokeo, and whitepages.com. Really good. Love those websites. Number 3 here is a paid service. Not the best one, but again, this is my top 3, which would basically be listrei.com, listrei.com. Listrei.com, aka PropStream, is a real estate wholesaling software. It does a lot of everything. You have to actually have PropStream to actually pull the skip tracing on there. And the skip tracing is really good. They use credit bureau data. It's a little more expensive than my favorite ones out there, but still it is absolutely amazing. It's one of the best ones out there. I don't use PropStream for my skip tracing, but everyone knows I use ListREI for my list pulling, and it's absolutely one of the best drawing for dollars apps out there. And really, it's the best bang for your buck in real estate wholesaling. So listrei.com is a really good skip tracing service, and it's definitely top 2 for paid ones. Number 2 is my favorite paid skip tracing service. Now, it's not number 1. It's not the OG favorite one. We will break it down at the end of this video. But number 2 here, the top paid skip tracing service will be smszach.com, aka batch leads. The reason why I use listrei.com or smszach.com is because those are links where you actually get discounts for all these services. You can get free trials to all of them. That's why I have my own domain, so it helps you guys out, and so you can actually get the best rates for this information, so you don't have to pay the full price for it. And obviously, you don't have to ever use any of these links. Use whatever one you want. This is just, in my opinion, the stuff that I've used to run a 7-figure wholesaling operation and net profits in my SMS and cold calling operations. So smszach.com or batch leads, if you use code Zach, you get 50% off the skip tracing, which is a really good amount of money, which is the cheapest skip tracing you can possibly get. So batchleads.com, code ZACH will get you there. But batch leads is one of my favorite ones out there. Batch leads is what I use right now for my SMS text blasting and my cold calling information. Obviously, you guys know if batch leads decides not to be the best skip tracing for me, I'll stop using it and I'll go tell you to use another service that I'm using. But for right now, as of this video, batch leads is the best paid skip tracing you can have. Remember, I skip trace tens of thousands of numbers at a time, and I do a lot of data, but we've made millions and millions of dollars in assignment fees and wholesaling real estate profits, especially from flips and things from finding motivated sellers using batch leads. If you actually need time and you don't have hours and hours and hours to use like a White Pages to get the information, batch leads is what you should get. When I get a huge high equity list of 10 to 20,000, I'm going on the batch leads and I'm skip tracing it. The information from paid skip tracing, like a batch leads versus a White Pages, is a lot better. You get relatives information, which if you're using pre-probates from listrei.com is the only way to do it. So like a pre-probate where the person's actually passed away and listrei.com is going off of public records of death to go find and where you got to find the information. Obviously, skip tracing for the dead person is not going to do well, and you can't find the relatives information. But if you use batch leads and you skip trace that pre-probate lead, you'll actually get a ton of phone numbers. So a free service, you'll get 1 to 2 phone numbers. A paid service, you'll get 3 phone numbers that could be used for that lead. And then you also get 2 to 3 relatives information, the aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, son, that you can go use for the pre-probates. Also, paid skip tracing, you actually get emails on there. So if you're into email marketing, it's really good. Quick hack, if you use listrei.com for cash sales and you use batch leads to actually skip trace that information, you can actually pull all of the emails. So you can actually get free emails for all the cash buyers and email blast them on your cash buyers list. And it's really cool to do. I use that for a lot of niche stuff like vacant lists for my email blasting when it comes to finding cash buyers. Quick little hack for you guys watching this video. So what is number 1? Before we get into number 1, I want to give you an honorable mention when it comes to skip tracing. Skip tracing is about finding a motivated seller's whereabouts. It's not 100% about finding someone's phone number. So if I'm skip tracing a vacant land list, obviously I'll be okay getting an email and then email blasting that list, right? you don't have to find someone's phone number to get in contact with them, if that makes sense. The honorable mention I give you today is using Facebook as your tool of finding your motivated seller. What do I mean by this? If you can't find someone's phone number or lead on, let's say, a fire damage property list, other wholesalers in your area probably can't get that information too. And that is awesome for you. That means no one can get in contact with this lead. That means if you can figure out a way to get in contact with this lead, you will probably be the only wholesaler in your area to actually get this deal, and there's no competition or no saturation for that lead. So if you're in a huge saturated market, this could be huge for you. Like I'm in Port St. Lucie, Florida, where there's so many wholesalers going after one deal. And if I have a lead that no one can get the phone number for, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Facebook. I'm going to go usually on my profile or my acquisition manager's profile. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to search that lead, John Smith or something like that in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And we're going to search them and we're going to find them because most people are on Facebook in the United States of America right now, especially if you're over the age of 40 or 50, you're most likely on Facebook. And the cool part about Facebook is a little weird, but you can message people randomly. The amount of people that will actually read their messages on Facebook is extremely high. So if you randomly message a seller something like, hey, this is Zach. I actually had a really quick question for you about your house in Port St. Lucie. Can you please give me a call? And you can message someone pretty discreetly on Facebook, so it's really easy and comfortable for them. That is huge. That is one of the best ones out there, and it is awesome. The one tip I can give you if you're going to message someone on Facebook, especially a seller, create a business Facebook where you can use networking with other wholesalers out there. If you want to join the Wholesaling Houses for free Facebook group and Mastermind, you can go in there with a business profile, explain who you are, what you do. Have a professional, have like a collared shirt or like a dress or something like that. It makes you look professional, and put a description in that business Facebook, what you do, maybe a couple posts about what you do. You know, you buy houses for cash, and really use that versus if you have a personal one with your hat backwards, you're shirtless at the beach. It's probably not going to come across as well as a first impression as if you did a business Facebook. You can still have your personal Facebook with all your friends, but remember, having the business one could help you there, especially with networking, things like that. And your network is your net worth. So this comes to number one. You guys have waited, and this is going to be the original OG Skiptracing site that I used starting out when I was broke as a joke in wholesaling real estate, and it helped me with my cold calling and really helped me gain the skills that I needed to dominate real estate wholesaling, especially as a 17-year-old. This is TruePeopleSearch.com. TruePeopleSearch.com is the OG, the greatest Skiptracing website, pound for pound. It is TruePeopleSearch.com. Now, the paid Skiptracing services are the best out there for like the best quality data overall. TruePeopleSearch.com, 60 to 70% of the time, you're going to find someone's phone number. And guess how much it costs? Only $0. That's right. TruePeopleSearch.com is free. Free. It is free. What is better than free? TruePeopleSearch.com is a little time intensive to do. You're going to have to manually put in someone's information, their city, search it. It'll pop up. It'll take you hours and hours and hours and hours to do like 10,000. But if you only have like 50 to 100 leads, put the Bag Searches podcast in your ears, listen to my podcast, and get hammering on that. That's probably what I would recommend, and it's one of the best ones, especially if you're new and you don't have a lot of money in real estate wholesaling for your marketing. That's what I would do. But that's it, guys. Those are my top 5 Skiptracing websites, plus some honorable mentions to help you in your real estate wholesaling business find motivated sellers' phone numbers so you can go out there, contact them, get a contract, assign that contract, and boom, get a nice, pretty check of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000. That's actually happened before. I've done $100,000 wholesales before, and you can change your life in real estate wholesaling. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a blessed day.